I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and experiment with my whole new setup, dude.
Yeah, what's up with your new setup?
It's terrible. So slow, bogged down by frame rate, but whatever. I like that new banner. You got the branding, the squad.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, man. So, what's good? What's new? What's popping?
Uh, shit, man, just been busy. Went out to Indianapolis, was working with this other producer, so that was pretty cool.
Okay.
Showed me a lot. I learned a lot from things that he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been working with a lot with native instruments, and he showed me a lot with the plugins and what you can do with the software that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and adding all these cool mastering VSTs and everything with machine, you know.
Recording in progress.
So that was super awesome, linking up with him.
Yep.
DJ Alexander the Great.
DJ Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
So where was this again?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, okay. So you were what, talking to him virtually, or you actually went there?
No, I went there
Oh, okay.
and we were working on some stuff.
Working on some beats.
Yeah, working on some tracks.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't get like a whole lot done, as far as actually sitting down and making a track. We had got started on a couple projects, but we're just, mainly catching up and going over a lot of tutorials. He was showing me all the VSTs that he has, and like he showed me a whole uh, bunch of stuff that you can do with machine and native instruments, and working with tractor is what he has for his DJ setup. So we're, you know, cutting some records and, you know, doing some sampling, doing some freestyles, doing some scratching and stuff like that. So
Okay.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I'm just over here on this gig, lifting weights, doing podcasts on my downtime out in the Caribbean, off the coast
That's
of
what's up,
Jamaica.
man. I like your setup.
Yeah, so I got one of those zombie squad tapestries coming. And so add to the flag tapestry, and it's essentially the same setup. It's just I guess the internet here is kind of weaker than back home, and the portable gear that I have. So I mean, I'm making do the best I can, but it's coming along. It's coming
Yeah,
along.
yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So what do we got? We got Rogues Gallery season 3 came out,
Yeah,
starring
yeah.
the ever talented TechFall, Chris MC TechFall Page, and produced by Dead On Pictures and Zombie Squad and so on and so forth. So what was that? That was I think that was Friday the 2nd, season 3, episode 1.
Yeah.
Tracer and She-Cat, voiceovered by my wife, and then another voiceover artist, Gene, and I think Connor was in there too. That's Clark Kent.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, yeah. So
It
yeah,
was good, man. It came out well. I was impressed.
yeah, on that nickel and dime COVID budget.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, we've been pumping out some projects during, the whole quarantine.
Oh yeah.
So now we're finally releasing some stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, we just you know, you know very well. You were doing some live DJ streams, that we were all producing your live DJ streams, the podcast. When the quarantine first hit, I had the second seasons of both those shows. on hard drive. And so with quarantine and with the, Gabriel as like a newborn, just lying in a bassinet, I just sit there, edit all night, knocked them out. And then, man, so many hiccups, man. So many hiccups during filming the third and fourth seasons. I mean, we had so many issues with this one daycare we had, and now thank God the quarantine is kind of for the most part over.
Yeah.
All the smart people that got the vaccinations. Um,
Yeah,
we've got
I think it said like over 70% of people have been vaccinated or at least had the first round of the vaccination. So it's moving into a positive direction, I
yeah
think. Mask has been lifted up in a lot of states. Um,
yeah. I mean, here on this island, man, here on this island, a lot of the restaurants. There's a bowling alley. Is the two gyms that are nearby. It's all if you're vaccinated, and so you have to show your vaccination card, and you got to get like checklisted, and then they give you like another little badge or something to wear. So when you walk into the gym, bowling alley, whatever, the restaurants, and you wear like this little badge that like I have right here, um, it shows that you're vaccinated. And it's not your vaccination card. You've been, you've proved that uh, in this community. And so
okay.
they give you this thing. So you just walk in, you don't have to wear a mask. If you haven't been vaccinated, you got to wear a mask. So they're pushing that herd immunity, and it's awesome. I'm
Yeah,
ex-
that's good. I think a lot of people are changing their mind about the vaccination,
there are because
about
yeah,
getting the vaccination because a lot of people were hesitant on getting the vaccination. So I think that more people are being educated on it, and apparently it's working.
yeah,
Obviously, so I think more people are changing their perspective on the vaccination.
yeah, and like this film was only hiring people with vaccinations. So with the film, I had to turn in my vaccination or a scan of my vaccination card to book this gig. And I'm on like an a little side island off the coast of Jamaica, kind of in the Bermuda. Gonna get lost in the Bermuda Triangle. Where'd Nelson go? Got lost in the Bermuda.
Man, that's awesome.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Um, but back to like the back to the daycare. We've got a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday daycare, or actually it's earlier than that. It could be anywhere between 7 to 6, I think. This full time, full structured daycare, and they look out for service members. So I got a military benefit with this place additionally. And I mean, like the child care and the child development structure there is outstanding. Plus, but now that it's summer, they call it a summer camp daycare as
Mm.
opposed to like the normal daycare. So it's like Gabriel's got like water day, craft day. He's got 2 water days a week where he goes out and plays in the water, like these little water slides or like these little water tables that have like plastic fish and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's fantastic, man. It's fantastic. You still doing comedy shows?
I might do one on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they record that shit right. You know me,
Yeah.
man.
Well, I
You
just
know me.
gotta,
I get real picky when it comes to
dude.
that recording.
I just ordered this awesome setup, for the iPhone. It
Hmm.
comes with a boom mic,
Hmm.
with a tripod stand and an LED light already attached to everything.
Hmm.
So I'm just waiting for that to come in, so audio will be crisp, especially if I want to do a remote podcast somewhere.
Yeah.
I can use that microphone and that miniature tripod,
Hmm.
go mobile wherever I want to go, like to shoot this show, or
Oh yeah.
if I'm remote somewhere, where the
Yeah.
audio Sounds clean.
That's what I forgot. I
It's
forgot
like
a lot of gear,
it's basically like a miniature boom mic.
but I forgot a lot of gear. I was supposed to bring like, I think you remember those really thin black stands that you can screw anything to the top, like a webcam or a little light
Yeah.
or a GoPro. And even as collapsed as it is, it wouldn't fit in any of my luggage. But yeah, man, I mean, it's like the trick is making it work. So I got the webcam kind of like mounted to the top of one of the monitors here. That's my little mini. You remember the dungeon. You remember the space station. It looked like fucking Houston space station over there at the
Yeah.
house. And so I kind of like I did the best to like kind of recreate a mini mobile Houston space station here. I mean, I mean, shit. Elon Musk can probably just run SpaceX from a laptop and an iPhone. This fucking guy is just on top of it, man. Turnkey, man. Turnkey.
That's Don's idol, man.
Yeah,
Elon Musk.
that's Dirko's idol.
He loves that guy.
What's Tesla? What's Tesla doing? Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. So there's that. I mean, the crypto nowadays. I don't know so much about crypto nowadays, man. Crypto's kind of dumping. He
It is.
ruined, dude. Elon ruined Dogecoin. He fucking ruined
Dude,
it.
Durko was hyping it up so much.
Listen, I jumped on it real quick.
He's like Doge Day, dude. Doge Day. And
Doge Day.
And it was a complete bust.
Complete bust. Complete bust. Doge Day.
He was like, it's gonna go up to $1.
Doge Day was Doge
plummeted.
dump day for me. Doge Day was Doge dump day for me. I just dumped it all and
God,
cashed out.
I should
made a
have
pretty
just
penny.
I should have just got rid of it.
I mean, I made a pretty penny from it, so I'm not complaining. But I mean, it's like
I didn't make a dime.
let's take a look. Let's see how it's looking now. Because these
at
things.
It's at like 23 cents, which is chump change.
Well, no, 23 cents is still high for like where it started, but I mean, where is this crap at? 23. I mean, it might go up, might go down. So yeah, there's that. I mean, good old fashioned, buying and selling stocks. Good old fashioned crypto. And what are you gonna do, man? I mean,
I don't know. Ups and downs, man.
ups and downs. You're right. So I don't know. It's a tricky game, man. It's a tricky game.
Yeah, you got to get something like a mutual funds.
Yeah, one of those index, those diversified complex index fund sample diversified, introspective, whatever the fuck. What do we call it? SPM 500s or some nonsense like that. You got to make it work. I mean, it is about risk. I mean, take a look at us. I mean, we would jump into like filmmaking and music, and that's a risk.
Yeah, it is a risk.
It is a risk. And so like everyone's like, man,
I mean, nothing's guaranteed,
Nothing's guaranteed. So, everyone's like, man, you're wasting your money. And I'm like, well, what about all those bar tabs? And what about all those fucking, brunches and ridiculously extravagant vacations where you could, if you actually sat down and you could budget out and still have vacations and still take, your wife and kids on a vacation, but for half that price, then you take that difference and maybe skip the strip club, skip the bar a couple times and take that bar tab, but you know exactly what your bar tab is going to end up being, and you invest that money into something. Quit cigarettes, quit drinking entirely, and then next thing you know, you're a millionaire, and now you can go ahead and you can have those expensive brunches again and have a few drinks, some high shelf liqueur, some fine champagne, because you decided to deprive yourself of some luxuries and put what that money would have been into like a long-term investment or a pump and dump investment. You know, it can be a short-term investment, long-term investment, but instead of just going to the bar every other night, blowing it on beer, like all my free time is either spent with the wife and kid or working on projects, dabbling a little bit in Robinhood, and that's it. It's about time management, but it's about time investment too. Like you got to invest your time. Like you know damn well, you thought kind of outside the box. Hey man, I'm gonna take this trip to Indiana, but meet up with a DJ and kind of collab and do some stuff. But it's also a road trip. It's also like a little vacation. But it's like
Yeah, he was
but
he
it's a
was he
productive
was
vacation.
he was a military buddy of mine, you know, and he's been chiming into our shows and here and there. He goes, "Yeah, I like what you guys are doing," and you know, it was just kind of a spontaneous trip, you know.
Hmm.
He was like, "Hey, you want to come out here?" And I was like, "Sure." You know, now that COVID is over, pretty
Yep.
much. Everybody's vaccinated. I mean, it sucks. Like going to the airport is a hassle. I mean, because they're back to like pretty much full capacity. But the problem is when you go to these airports, is that they're having a hard time really because this is we're really at the aftermath stage of COVID
Right.
right now. I would really consider this to be the aftermath because you know everything's going back into normal, but the problem is that you know people are on unemployment for so long that you know they can't staff these restaurants, these you know even at the airport everything closes at 7 o'clock. You know,
Right.
when I was at Atlanta airport, everything closed at 7. Like, so if you don't prepare and get something to eat before your flight, like you're screwed. You know, and the lines are ridiculous. So that was my whole issue with like flying and because I haven't flown in so long.
Yep.
You know, the last time I flown was like a little bit, you know, during COVID. It was still going on, so it wasn't as bad. The airports weren't at full capacity. People were
Airports are back to full capacity
so
now.
now they're back to full capacity.
Yeah.
Long lines at the airports. Long lines going through security. Long lines trying to get anything. You know the vending machines are all empty.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
they're just unprepared. You
No
know,
vending machines, man.
like even a lot of festivals that were supposed to go on had to cancel. You know, due to the aftermath of COVID because they cannot get the staffing to put on these big events. You know,
Yeah.
like Moonrise was supposed to happen this year,
Well,
2021.
we flew out. We flew here. We flew out from DCA, and I don't remember. You're probably right. I don't really remember any vending machines. But what I do remember is like you got some. You know how you can go in those little shops, get magazines, get snacks, get
Yeah.
a bottle of water or something. So what they had was they had like a shelf of it, and you grab an item, and then someone would walk up and hit like this little screen. And no, you hit the little screen. It's a little bit more faster paced, but it's not necessarily COVID friendly. But um, they would come up and like just tap this little screen, swipe your card for you, and it wasn't even in the room. It was like kind of like along the walkway, and it's like yeah, I guess the items are kind of like out in the open for people to just grab, but someone grabs it, puts it back. Now it's kind of contaminated. So maybe that's not a good example of this new COVID compliance or this new health conscientious um like germ conscientious type of maybe it wasn't really all that good. So that's a bad example. That should suck. So never mind. But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're still doing it. We're still, as a society doing the best we can with all this nonsense. Staying alive, staying healthy,
Yeah. I mean,
avoidance.
it's still a virtual world, and you know that's going to be like that for
Yes.
a long
Dude,
time.
Dude, I've been talking about it on the show. I've been talking about it with you for not only this show, but for
I mean,
years. I want to be
it's
working out of the dungeon for the rest of my
dude,
life.
it's so crazy, like of how many
Yeah.
people have dabbled into. We've been doing podcasts for a long time, and in radio for a long time. Even when we had loss prevention radio, back
Hmm.
when we were doing that online.
And it was
Oh,
terrible.
a long time ago.
We would go out with like the shittiest camcorders because we were so broke. We couldn't afford decent equipment. And I remember you had like this old camcorder. I had this really old camcorder. We were doing, and I think you were, and I think you had a wired mic into like a little DAT recorder in your pocket. And then we'd have to like, I would have to transfer the tapes and then dump the audio files. It was you, but transferring, remember transferring those tapes was real time. You'd have to play the tape and digitize it. And after all your tapes are digitized, then you take the file and then you sync the audio up to the file, the proper audio and not the camera mic audio, to the video file.
Yeah.
And then you make a master synced clip and then you start fucking editing. And now fast forward to this where everything is like instantaneous. And we're both remote and on this little live computer, I can do that kind of edit, and then I can do you're probably not seeing the edit, but I can do that kind of edit, and then I can cut to something else and then bring more people in and then change the shot, and it's all on a laptop and a small little HD monitor and a webcam and using Zoom. And you've got the same thing over there. You've got a professional mic jacked into one thing, jacked into another thing, and eventually going into Zoom. I think that's the audio you're using. Tap the mic. I don't know. I think
So I'm using an interface,
yeah.
which is hooked up into my laptop, which is the interface is connected through Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
and the microphone's hooked into the interface.
Right.
And the headphones are jacked into the interface, so it's real simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
real easy. Nothing to it.
Do you remember?
Dude, any idiot can start a podcast. There's so many of them out there that are doing it.
Yeah. Hold on. This guy. Hold on. Let me see if I can
Dude,
get this right.
you can tune into any podcast. It's like ridiculous.
This guy and this guy are idiots starting podcasts and doing podcasts. I mean,
and then remember you got me in the clubhouse, like, dude. But that thing was going off all day, dude.
well, listen. I think we could still probably utilize Clubhouse, because apparently Clubhouse has an archive, so it has an archive of your saved conversations. I guess is, for lack of a better term, it archives your conversations.
Yeah.
And so if there's a way to pull them off of your archive, then be uploaded as a podcast, then boom, there you go. But I mean, dude, it's tricky. Yeah, man. I mean, it's really tricky to like. It's kind of tricky, but then once you kind of figure out that hack, everyone's like, "Oh man, these is hacks, man. You got to figure out the hack. You got to figure out the hack." And then you figure out the hack, and then the hack's, all like Donkey Kong. But no, you're right, man. I mean, like, especially nowadays, people are able to utilize. I mean, I remember loss prevention radio, man, and it was just like that was a struggle. And then when we were trying to do the technological podcast, and there was that dude. I still watch the video like once a week when you just ripped your entire studio apart live on technological podcast. Like, if you buy shit, you get shit. If you buy shit, you get shit. You know what I mean? And that was like the funniest thing. So we finally
that stand cost me like $15 on Amazon.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, it was terrible. I mean, it would have probably worked better if I just duct taped it.
Yep. Well, arriving late to the show is Brian Page. Welcome back to Zombie Squad Cast. Can you hear me? Oh, connecting. audio is connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He's got that dial up over there.
What's going on?
Oh boy, we got more folks coming in. Hold on, let's see what we got happening now.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Woo!
Just woke up from a nap.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Let's get this show on the road, fellers. He's calling me from his car. He's calling me from his car.
Oh my god.
This guy's pulling a dirt go, calling me from his car.
Man,
Is this audio coming in?
it says connecting to audio.
Connecting to audio. This is going to be like one of the. This is going to be a landmark episode. This is going to be the first, four-way roundtable of past guests joining in.
I love it, man.
Scotty LP, MC TechFall, Big Brian, and the full Nelson all together.
The Maniac Nelson.
Glenn the Maniac Nelson.
Dude, you remember you got in a scuffle with that guy Alex, man, and Alex met the wall.
Alex met the wall.
I get home and there's a big giant indentation of a body in the wall. I'm like, what happened here?
It's like Looney Tunes. It was just like a hole in the wall like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like when what is it? Looney Tunes. They run through the wall. It's just like a fucking cutout of a human silhouette.
That's what it was. Of you and old Alex.
Me and old Alex. Scotty LP, man, welcome back. What's going on? What's new? What's the back brief of the last year and 2 months, 3 months since you were on the show?
Oh man, my hair's a little bit longer.
I see that.
I haven't cut it since last February. Besides that, got a couple of partners together. We started a business called Drop Shot Studio. So we're trying to do some live streaming and production. We've done a couple of gigs so far. It's just starting. It's going all right. Trying to stay busy, but the 9 to 5 job is the same, dude. I'm going in right now to Daddy Warner Bucks, so I can get my usual pay.
Okay.
Kids are a little bit older. We got a death in the family. Michelle's dad passed away. Besides that, everybody else is still alive and well.
No, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad to hear everybody else is.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It just happened not that long. We got what was it? 2 weeks ago, like June 17th, 2.5 weeks ago. Then we drove up. We were up there doing all that for about 10 or 11 days, and I got back last week.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it, man. So just kicking it. I never heard back from those Caribbean guys from Trini about the project they were doing.
The dance show.
But, I saw some footage, but he didn't really send much of it, and he didn't send any more. So I don't know what's going on with that, but because we were going to try and wrap up something with Drop Shot for that project and offer them whatever services they needed, to share files and shit like that, plus the production stuff. That's why I reached out to you and that Russian fuck.
Big
Andre.
Dre.
Yeah.
Big Dr. Big Dr. Dre.
That vodka drinking fucker. To see what he had going on. But yeah, he was still active too, man. So yeah, that's what we got going on, man. I've got two partners two guys I work with, and then Michelle's involved and myself, so there's 4 of us.
Okay. Well, that's what's up, man. It's like staying busy, staying productive.
Oh my God.
So tell me a little bit, yeah. Tell me more about the live streaming, because that's right up my alley.
So we basically look. The setup is everything's wireless. So we've got some 4G LTE modems. We've got a new 5G. It's called an Inseego 5G modem that has the ability to adjust some gain with an antenna. It's all built in. It's like the size of a pizza box kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that thing is kind of brand spanking new. We're testing that. We're getting like fucking, dude, in some places 180 down and like 90 up, which is not so bad. In other places, 250, 150, 250 down, 150 up. Really, what we're trying to do is when we set up a live stream for, let's say, a soccer game or a lacrosse game or something, right? The idea is to have your access points set up to where you can access whatever wireless equipment that you're using for the camera IP stream. So, you know, we aggregate those up and then we do a broadcast out of it. Live graphics switching. We also create logos for customers too. And we got one guy who, him and his buddy, they started a podcast. It's called F is for Friends. So shout out to F is for Friends. Check them out on Facebook and YouTube. But this guy Hunter, this other guy Legacy. Legacy's a music composer, artist, rapper from Atlanta, and then Hunter is, I believe, a stunt actor, motocross racer. I'm not sure what else he does, but that's what I know about him anyway. So these guys started a podcast. They signed with us, and we've done some episodes with them, and they're happy. The wedding thing, we kind of spun up a wedding gig and created a website for a customer, and we had some cameras set up.
I could never do weddings. I don't know how you have the patience for weddings. Like I could never do weddings.
Well, dude, you know the wedding game, right? I mean, look, fact is that the bride's happy, everyone's happy. That's just
no shit.
Right.
And that's almost and like half the time it's impossible to make that bride happy, man. And you got all these co-directors.
Well,
you got all these co-directors jumping in. Why are all these groomsmen and bridesmaids telling me how to do my fucking job?
Well, brides got a lot of bottom bees, right? They got a lot of bottom bees that you got to go through to get to the bride.
Holy fuck.
First off, they've got this like 2 or 3 chain broken down to where you can't even talk to the bride in some cases, right? I ran into that with DJing sometimes, but look, as long as you didn't do something they didn't want you to do and you offered more than maybe you said that you were going to offer to make them happy, that's what makes them happy. So it's going, man. It's not bad, but the gig is doing the broadcast engineering, making sure the TVs got signals going to the homes, right? Coming from the stadiums, going to the homes. And that's the 9 to 5.
You got to make sure your cell phone's getting signal too, bro. You're going to a dead zone.
Oh, well, that's why. Look, I live out in the country now, man. I moved back in December. That's something else that happened.
You're still out. You're still out in the big GA.
I am, and I moved about 20 miles southwest of where I used to be. I used to was in Fayetteville. Now I'm in Brooks. So that's basically country zone, man. And out there, it's. I mean, I got chickens, man. That are getting pretty big, and that's a new venture, new little stead venture. Yeah, man. I'm busy, man. I'm busy as fuck.
Yeah, man. Well, Brian, man. Brian, this is Brian's second. No, this is Brian's third appearance on the show. So, what's the new deal, man? You moving up? You're gonna become chief of the DC Fire and be running the whole city?
Oh, I don't know about that. I've only been at 2 firehouses in 14 years. I guess I'm having too much fun on the back step. You know, I was at Northeast for 10 years, and then now I'm in Cleveland Park. So.
Right.
Yeah. I think eventually I'll start moving up. But life's been good, man. I to be honest with you, right now I don't know what to do with myself because I'm here. The wife's not here for a couple of days, so yeah, it's funny because you think you're gonna be like total relaxed, like when the wife and kids are gone, but in reality, you're like rushing to do stuff. You're like, I gotta cut the grass, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and then you just hit a wall, and you're like, holy shit, I'm not doing jack. But Yeah, and it's crazy, man, because Scotty would know. It's like you get a break from the kids, and it's kind of like you're running around like doing stuff like more than you would overcompensate. I'd have to say. Nah, man, life has been good, man.
Yeah, I just started, so I just started, and I went out of town on a gig. But I just started with the whole family thing, and I remember, like last year.
Yeah,
I probably did more during quarantine. I probably did more in one day than I was used to doing in like a week.
yeah.
I mean, it's like fix 3 doors in the house, and then help my wife figure out the entertainment center or the TV or how to, like the channels or whatever, that whole TV, entertainment center crap, and then go take out all the trash and then do all the dishes. And then we sit down and watch a movie, and I'm going to cook dinner, and she did quite a bit too. I'm not saying I did it all, but it's
now
like,
I'm the guy, if I see something bother me and I'm walking outside, I'll pull weeds just because I just saw that one weed and I'll just go in there and yank it. I can't. I try to get everything done in one swoop.
Yes. And that's what would drive Melissa nuts, is like, she's like, you don't have to do all this in one day. I'm like, I will knock all this out today so that we have the whole rest of the week off. But then the next day there's like 20 more things I see. I'm like, no. I got to knock all this all out today so that we got the whole rest of the week free. And she's like, you've done this every day the whole week.
I what I'll say about that is it breaks down to a difference in time management preference.
Yes.
They would manage their time a little differently than the way you manage your time. Okay.
Yeah.
And you need to realize that you're doing it wrong.
Well, regardless of what you do, if you're not doing it the way the wife wants it done, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
I'm not gonna get used to that hair, by the way.
You may have saved about 30 minutes or an hour of everybody's life, right? But nobody knows that except you, because the steps you took to do it your way, which saved that extra time, right? But while you're getting bitched at, it's all good, right?
There's quite a few times I was just like, okay, and I'm getting yelled at, or I'm getting corrected, or I'm being given advice, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, are you done? All right, I'm just gonna do it my way, and then boom, it's done. Oh, what a great job! Yes, I know, for the 80th time. For the 80th time, you're in my way, telling me how to do it. I'm still gonna do it my way, and it's still gonna get done great, and you're gonna love it. Why do we have this conversation every time? God.
I still have some of those Bruce Willis moments from Pulp Fiction. I mean, they still creep up now and again.
What the hell was the watch? The fucking watch.
Yeah, the watch. That was classic.
Did you or did you not grab it off the counter? I might not have. Fuck.
I should have told you I don't give a shit about anything else except the fucking watch.
I told you one thing. Oh my God, that scene.
Between that and then in Armageddon, the one scene where the guy at the beginning, he spots the asteroid, and his wife's coming in, and she's like, "Hey, your dinner's been sitting on the stove for the last 2 days." She's like, "Go get that book, honey. That book, those guys are numbers from NASA. I need to get those numbers from NASA." Look like Carl Slave. Go get the book. Go get that goddamn phone book. Get that book. It's a breakdown of communication, right?
Oh, dude, have you ever seen the first Incredibles, about the animated one, the family, and Sam Jackson plays like Mr. Freeze or Mr. Ice or something like that.
Frozone.
Frozone. He plays Frozone, and he's like, he sees like this big, huge alien android, whatever the hell it is, like destroying the city, and he's like, "Honey, I need my costume." She's like, "Why?" It's like, "Because I need my costume." And she's like, "I asked why." And he's like, "Babe, just give me the costume." It's one of those that's one of those PG rated versions of the fucking Bruce Willis's gold watch conundrum.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, dude, yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure every couple, every marriage has that moment, but it's all about how, most importantly, it's all about how the man, the husband, handles it. I think, because the woman is going to go off, but if the second the guy goes off, boom, you're in the wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Yes.
where the logic lies. I mean, maybe there's some females that are more logical than their male partners or whatever your partner is. You know, one's logical and one highly irrational, but there's a balance there because you know, of how all that works.
No, there's not. There's not a balance, man. It's just.
Well, there is. I don't.
If you say so.
You know, yeah, they say there is.
Who says there is? The wives?
Oh no, I mean the royal they, man. Come on.
Oh, the royal they. Then the royal they.
I just wish I didn't get frustrated with the kids. Like I don't get frustrated with the dog, no matter what the dog does. Yet I get frustrated with the kids. You have a happy medium.
I don't get frustrated with the dog. I know the dog can't comprehend English.
The dog could bite everything in the house and destroy every article. I wouldn't get mad. The kid spills a cup of milk and I go ape shit. You know what the fuck? I gotta have some.
No, you just throw the dog food outside and let them retrieve it.
No, but it's like dogs gonna be dogs, kids are gonna be kids. I need to understand that, and I'll be good. Life will be easy. But no, you know what I mean? I just flipped the script. Maybe it's because the 12-hour daddy daycare has kicked me in the butt sometimes.
No, you are a 5-year-old adult. You are a 5-year-old adult that knows everything, and you should be psychic and know exactly what's going on in my head for you to be able to perform as this 5-year-old adult.
Yeah, Scott, my kids are 2 and 4, by the way. I'm sure you remember those years.
Yeah, my youngest is 4.
Oh, yeah.
Oldest is 10, and then I got one turning 7 next week. But man,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it's a new challenge.
Yeah.
And there's always those small where they do something happens. They do something where you look at them and you're like, man, it was totally worth it. And then in a split second after that, it snaps you back into reality and you're like, fuck! I said, don't put the gum on the seat. I said, no gum on the seat. Where's the gum? On the seat, right.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's exactly where you said not to fucking put the gum.
Don't put it. Right.
Bill. No doubt.
No, I specifically said up and red. And it clearly you went out of your way to do the exact fucking opposite of what I asked you to do. Down and blue. How in the fuck did you do that?
I think you're an actual
opposition defiance disorder. Okay, ODD.
ODD, opposition defiance disorder. Okay, I like that.
ODD?
Oh yeah, that's I mean that's got to be what it's called. I mean that's got to be what it's called.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. They started a thing.
You just started it, or was that a thing?
No, they started it. I'm telling you. Look it up. ODD.
Holy fuck! I think that's dyslexia.
It might be part of it, I guess.
So
I thought they used to call it selective hearing, right? Okay, is it not called selective hearing anymore?
oh, it's just in one ear, out the other. It's selective hearing.
I think this generation calls it "fuck you."
Holy shit!
We're
This
raising the "fuck
generation.
you" generation.
Me generation.
Oh man. That's lucky.
Oh
Like
yeah, and then see once they trick you into having another one. Oh my God, you thought one was something.
Yep, I knew that feeling.
Two's something fucking else, man. I mean, goddamn, I was crazy enough to have 3 because I thought it sounded right. 3 just was the magic number for me, and I'm like, man, I'm completely insane sometimes. But you know what? I will say this on the true. I stopped being selfish, and things just work out. I just don't even think about them. It's like my automated kind of cruise control kicks on. My dad cruise control kicks on, and I just get that shit done, and then I squeeze in time for myself somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I think it's about what's the word? Compartmentalizing, or it's like and it's also compromising, and it's finding, okay, honey, here's the things that I'm going to do. And here's the things I'm willing to like let go. Here's the things I'm willing to like ease back on, so that there's us, and then you have your thing, and Gabriel has his thing. But yeah, I mean, definitely patience and taking like time to think about what you're going to say or react. But I mean, yeah.
And the cursing. I'm always second guessing and making up new words too. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm trying, man. It's just fucking hard, guys. Okay, it's real fucking hard. All right, you get around them. Next thing you know, one of them's dropping the F-bomb, and you know the wife's looking at you.
Yeah.
because it's all your fault, man. You're the one that used the F-bomb. Well, you know,
I don't remember doing it, but she said I did it.
Well, I don't know, you know, what few viewers this show does have.
Yeah, we got a few.
You got like one or two, but maybe I'm pretty sure not many of them know that all four of us went to the same high school, DeMatha in Hyattsville, Maryland, and chock full of stories, especially if it's an all boys Catholic private school. You know, it's just going to be chock full of like tomfoolery and bullshittery. So I think the first one that graduated was Brian. So I know, Brian, we were talking a little bit offline about a couple funny stories, and I'll go ahead and let you lead off with the one you were telling me about one of your buddies' graduations or something.
Oh yeah, this was a story that I heard. Guy, you know, like this one, Scott. This was like in the early '80s. Well, guy was a freshman at DeMatha, and you know this little not urinals that they have over by the showers. Like you have the one shower head, and then you have the stall there, I guess the drain or whatever. Well, somebody supposedly took a dump in there their freshman year in gym class, right? So I'm not gonna drop any names here. Well, anyway, graduation time comes up, and kids are getting ready to graduate.
4 years later.
Yeah, 4 years later. A guy comes up to this so-and-so gym teacher, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm not sure if you remember this, but there was a guy freshman year in our class that took a dump, you know, in that not the urinal, but the shower head or whatever." So the guy says, "Oh, I got this, man. I'll handle this." So he said, "Who is it? Point him to me." So the guy's getting ready. He just got his diploma, and he walked down the aisle. And he points at him. He goes, "You!" And the guy's like, "What?" He goes, "I knew you did it." He was like, "I knew you did it 4 years ago. You're the guy that did it." He did it. That's that shower stall. He goes, "I knew it all along." And the dude, like the guys were like, "Oh my god." The dude had just lost it. He had to have shit his pants like right then and there. And like he kept yelling loud then for like 5 or 10 minutes. But they said it was funny because he definitely didn't remember it happened. And I'm like, if you could remember this guy in the 80s, man, it's like, holy cow.
He called him out.
But this kid, you were telling me, so he finally calls this kid out.
Yeah.
Graduation day.
Yes.
As he's like on his first step to go up on the stage to get his fucking diploma. And he stops him.
You.
Oh, the kid immediately knew what he was talking about right away. He was like, "How did he know this? Or why is he holding his back or whatever?" And it was like full-fledged Hulk Hogan. Like, I'm coming after you, you know?
And to give the viewers, all right, so like we said, we won't name any names, but to give the viewers an idea of this gym coach / wrestling coach, he was also a wrestling coach.
Oh,
and no names, but as far as a wrestling coach, he looks exactly like Hulk Hogan, to make matters worse. Sounded like Hulk Hogan, except for instead of blonde hair, he had, you know, pitch black hair. But he had the balding and the long hair like Hogan. And he had the big freaking handlebar mustache, just like Hogan. And he was gargantuous as hell because he was the gym coach and the wrestling coach, like Hogan. And so basically
the best was when he hit that, when he was in the van or in the bus, and he hit that car. He rear-ended that car, and she got out. She goes, "What's your name?" He's like, Joe Jones. He's like, where do you work? He goes, Northwestern High School.
That's a fucking way to win the championship right there, dude. Northwestern.
Oh my god.
Dude, I remember I went to gym class. I think I was a freshman. The freshmen fucked up every year. You're guaranteed to fuck up if you're a freshman at anything. Freshman in high school, freshman in college, a fresh private right out of basic training. You're guaranteed to fuck up. So I think it was like week 2 or week 3 of my freshman year. I don't know. And I forgot my gym shorts. Remember we had like those blue gym shorts and a gray t-shirt or some shit. And so I forgot my fucking gym shorts. And for some fucking reason, I just went. You remember how during gym you would sit in the bleachers and wait to like do your little drills or whatever for gym? I just went in boxers, like boxers, not boxer briefs or tighty whities, but it was like the flabby boxers. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I fucking lost my gym shorts. And so I sit down and this kid looks around and he goes, you even have the boxers with the pee hole in the front. And like, you probably see in the fucking pee hole. And Hogan, we'll call him.
Okay.
Coach Hogan comes over. He goes, what the hell is this? You don't come in your underwear. You just go. And he's like screaming at me. I was like, what are you thinking? Can't you could just ask for some gym shorts. Go in there. And he was like screaming. And I'm like running across the gym floor in fucking boxers. Like such a nub, but embarrassing as hell. But you look back and you're just like, dude, everybody fucks up like this. It's hilarious. You have to
Hey, Scott, I got a funny one. Me coaching, I coached 10 years over there. One day it was a Saturday morning. We were practicing. Practice had just ended, and I'm holding on. I'm hungover. I mean, I'm really like, I'm standing up against the wall. Coach is reaming these kids. I mean, like reaming them about something about the tournament we have coming up. Well, I'm like, I can't stand up anymore. So I sit down. The second I squat, I ripped the loudest fart ever, like in the whole room, like shook. The kids fucking started dying laughing, right? And I was like, holy shit. My face, I kept a straight face because I was like so bad and embarrassed about it. And he's like, the coach goes, are you all right, Paige? And he's pissed off. He's completely pissed because I completely fucked this whole conversation up, with the kids. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And he comes in my face. He goes, are you sure? And I couldn't keep I have the face. My face was deep at this point. So the practice ended, and it's just me and him in the room. He's like, you got to be fucking shitting me. He's like, I'm fucking growing the kids, and you fucking fought. What the fuck? At that point, I lost, and I couldn't hold it in anymore. I started laughing. I was like, Coach, I didn't fucking do it on purpose, man. Jesus. Cut me some fucking slack.
Dude, the funniest thing was when he drove the bus down the alley for those, because people used to smoke in the alley, and he was looking for wrestlers. And he drove the bus down a narrow ass alley looking for these guys. They're like, holy shit, is that Hulk Hogan?
One story, we both had the buses, right? I was coaching JV, he was coaching varsity. He's like, hey, Paige, I'll race you to Gonzaga. And I said, okay. I just started working in DC, so I knew the quickest ways to go. Well, I'm following him, and he's taking the fastest route possible. He makes a left, I think, on Brentwood Road to get back. I can't remember where he made a left at, but I knew there was like a barricade or something there. So he fucking ended up hitting a dead end. I ended up beating there, and he's like, what the fuck? He's like, there's a fucking, a wreck or something over here. It was funny beating him there because he's like, he knows the city in and out. And he's hauling ass, with the big bus. He's got the big one. I got the little small bus. It's a little easier. To make a long story short, I got there first before him by like 2 minutes. But yeah, coaching with that dude was fun.
I remember the wrestling guys, and I know you wrestle a little bit too, Scott, but I remember I would have lunch with Chris with MC TechFall like just about every day. And I was going to the lunch line and I was getting like chili cheeseburgers with bacon and fries with chili and cheese on top of the fries. And I get there and there's Tech eating a fucking orange, cutting weight. Coach Hogan wants me to cut weight, man. And if you think Chris is, if you think Tech's face looks, skinny and slender now, man, like this dude was looking gaunt. Like, bro, how can you even wrestle? How do you even have the energy off of one orange? Like everyone's trying to cut weight to like, what do you call it, Brian? To like go down to like the lower weight class so you can like demolish these freshmen or something and win. It's like why? It's not healthy, man.
Oh man, good times, man.
I did 119 for a few months my freshman year. That was my wrestling experience. And I remember, like lemons and fucking oranges and stuff, wearing bags. And I think I weighed 125 and I needed to cut down to 119 because I did fucking creamed at 125 because I was getting creamed to 119. So I was like, all right, well, your best chances are you cut, 6 pounds, you can make 119 and wrestle that weight class was my best shot.
Yeah, I think I tried out with Coach Hogan for about a week, and he started talking to me about that kind of nonsense. I was like, nah.
Well, our sophomore year, I remember he came up to me and wanted to know if I was going to wrestle again, and he was like, hey, I didn't see you practice. Richards, didn't see you practice. Yeah, you're not going to see me at practice. Oh, yeah? You fucking
dude, he would always ask if you lifted. He was like, did you lift today? He'd be like, did you lift today? Why didn't you lift?
No,
I can't. Dude, he'd be like, he goes, when's your lunch break? He'd be like, go in the gym during your lunch break.
During lunch break, yeah. Like not even eating anything at all. Just like, I'm going to be cutting weight because I'm going to be lifting during lunch.
Yeah, he would have us lift like a full weightlifting session, bro, like during your lunch break. So you had to woof down whatever that you had, you woof it down real quick, and then you just do sets. No, and he would know if you lifted if you didn't. He'd be like, you could lie to him and say, did you lift today? You'd be like, did you lift today? You'd be like, yeah. You'd be like, no, you didn't.
He had spies everywhere. Remember that lady? Remember that lady that worked there? She was like doing sports medicine or something. Wendy. She was his what? Wendy. Or whatever her name was. Yeah. But she was his spy, man. She was everybody's spy. She would like rat everybody out. Nope. Brian didn't go to lift today. I saw Brian was eating a big old cheeseburger, and he did not go lift. And Chris was eating 2 oranges, not just one.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, when people didn't lift, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, you didn't lift today? Well, we're gonna lift right now." And he'd make everybody on a machine.
Everybody on a machine.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, we would do like 30-second or a minute intervals on every machine in that little small ass weight room. That was like a sweat box. Remember that was in the back of the gym.
I was too small for football, and my grades were shit for baseball and basketball, and I wasn't going to be doing that kind of lifestyle for wrestling. And then but then like we started the rowing club, which is now the crew team, and now all of a sudden they got medals and trophies galore.
You started that, Glenn? That's pretty badass.
Oh, I started the rowing. Well, it was the rowing club. Me and
but it was called crew back then, though.
It's called the crew team. Rowing is called crew.
Yeah.
But when we started the rowing club, and we were going to Anacostia and like rowing with like the college teams or whatever, but we did so well and kind of put a name for DeMatha on that they ended up changing it to the crew team, and now it's a team, just like the wrestling team and the basketball team and the baseball team. It's a crew team now. It was a club then.
Okay.
Which then turned into a fucking team now. But I could join any club I wanted to with shit grades. So that's the only way I did a sport.
I mean, you could have joined wrestling with shit grades.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it Hogan's way. Hogan did not know best for me at that time. Hogan did not know best for me at that time, not at all. Like Big Daddy Nelson's Big Daddy Nelson for a reason. He likes cheeseburgers, he likes chicken tenders. He's cutting down on those carbs, but he likes beer. Quarantine fucking nearly killed me though. I've been losing weight out here on this tropical island, but It is what it is.
Oh, man.
I mean, dude, those were wild days, man. I mean, honestly,
You just can't do that anymore.
well, no, you can't do that anymore.
You can't do the things that he used to do.
Nah, man, getting old sucks, man. I mean, it's like,
But it's funny when I run into somebody that either knows him or we went to high school together with, or wrestled for the guy. We just tell different stories, man. And it's comical.
he's
Like
he's
20
so
years
different now,
later.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's so different now because he was at Big Bry's wedding, and he's like the chillest, sweetest dude. And it's like, well, of course, because you retired and you got grandkids. I think all his grandkids are girls.
No, he's got 2 boys, 2 girls.
2 boys, 2
Or
girls.
he's
Okay.
got three boys. One of them's older.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I mean, the second you get that granddaughter, then you're just going to be like, whoop.
But he's still a maniac. I don't give a fuck what you say.
I mean, if you hire him to be one, I'm sure he'll do his job well.
Yeah, there was some years I coached later where the kids tested the waters, man, and they really bit him in the ass. They really thought, that he mellowed out, and then boom. I tried to warn him.
Yeah. I mean, getting old changes you.
I can't believe it's been 25 years, dude, since I graduated. God, I turned 44 now, man. I'm like, where did this time go, man? I feel like 34 to 44 I blinked. Man.
You got your 25th coming up?
25th. Actually, I already had the 25th. I think they're doing the reunion on the 26th anniversary. I'm not sure. I went to the 20 and there weren't too many of us there. It was like a real rainy night, and I'm not sure if my schedule's going to allow it this year. But.
Dude, they do it at the Smoker every year.
Oh,
I mean, you could actually just turn the Smoker into a reunion. The Smoker's, I've never actually been to the Smoker on campus. I've always gone to like RJ Bentley's or Corner House or wherever everybody ends up later that night because of work or whatever, or a gig or something. But I went to my 10th. That was a blast. I went to my 20th. I took the wife to my 20th, and she was just awestruck by the Catholicism and all the stuff they had in the hallways and the chapel and all that stuff, because they kind of gave us like a tour of what was kind of like updated and upgraded and renovated and added and what still remains from 20, 30, 40 years ago. And she was just blown away. So, I mean, the place looks great. The place still looks great. A couple of people arrested for or some people maybe not arrested, but some people were removed from DeMatha for inappropriate behavior.
Yeah, I wonder if it was somebody I had for accounting. Creepy bastard. And if you guys took accounting, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, accounting?
Always wore a sweater. One of those black sweaters.
Accounting.
No, I'm not. No names.
He used
No
to
names.
say,
No.
he used to say this. He used to say, "Child of God."
Oh.
Put his hand on your shoulder and say, "Child of God."
Oh, let me
What
ask
are
you this.
doing?
Let me ask you this. Was he tall with glasses and dark hair?
Yes.
Okay. And I do believe you're correct. I do believe it was
Okay.
him.
I would assume. I don't want to assume, but I assume.
Brian, the funniest one was when Steinbauer kicked Bill Kelly in the ass.
Did you guys know him?
I didn't know. I don't know Steinbauer.
He's a buddy of mine.
Steinbauer's your year, right?
Steinbauer used to come in there with McDonald's every day.
The teacher would
Steinbauer
get there at 6 a.m, and he would, have Steiny try to pick up all the. There was food left from the day before or whatever, McDonald's all over the tables, and he'd say, "Hey man, I need you to pick up everything in this cafeteria." And he said, "You know what I'm going to pick up and throw away? I'm going to pick up the McDonald's I brought in today that I bring in every day, and that's what I'm going to throw away." He got the water. So he was like, "How do you do that?" And he's like, "Well, I'm telling you to." And he's like, I'm telling you, I'm not. Like, I came here, I'm sitting by myself. I'm not even next to that trash. I'm not going to sit next to trash. Like, and the same guy was in class one day, and this certain teacher had a would like the kids' feet were in the hallway or in between the rows. His pet peeve.
If you're sitting at your desk and you kick your foot out like in the walkway.
Yeah. So his big thing was sweeping the floors with his feet. Right, chair, not just whatever. Usually he kicked your feet or he'll kick your book bags or whatever. So my buddy's turned around and he ends up kicking him somehow in the butt. I guess his butt was facing the right way.
Didn't he kick his feet and then he kicked his ass?
He kicked him in his feet. And then my buddy turned around. He said, "Fuck this." He was walking away, he kicked him right in the ass. He fucking kicked them both and kicked him in the ass. The teacher was like, "You can't do that. You kicked me." And my buddy goes, "You fucking kicked me first. You want to play that game?" So, end of story, man. That was it. I don't think there was any more kicking of chairs or, any fucking books or anything like that. But my buddy, yeah, he did stuff like your freshman year that you might do now at 44. I'm like, how did you have the balls to do that as a freshman? What the fuck? Like, no fear factor at all. Like, goddamn.
Yeah. I remember there was another teacher that always had cigars in his pocket. And so the day I turned 18, I walked in with a pack of cigarettes in my pocket. And then he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Dude, remember Buck Offit, man? He would chew and smoke cigars.
Oh God, that guy was chewing in class. Like, you already named his name, so that's exactly who I was fucking talking about. He's got these two big fucking stogies in like the silver fucking metal canisters, and so I got like a pack of Marlboros in my or Camels in my shirt pocket. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Dude, he reminded me of that guy Lewis from that.
Are you telling me it's a smoke-free campus? and then like fucking crickets.
Dude, he reminded me of that guy Lewis from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The old guy Lewis that was smoking the cigar that burned his tree up.
Oh, dude, that's Buck 100%. The one whose toupee got like snatched by a fucking gopher or something, or a squirrel. Yeah, that's fucking Buck.
He's like, "Lewis, you burnt my tree."
Yeah, and you remember a certain English teacher that like had PTSD from Nam or something? I saw him at my 20th. The dude looks more grizzly than Scotty right now. Like, he had long hair, bald on top, long like who do you look like? Long hair down to his shoulders, the biggest beard. I didn't fucking recognize him. I went up, shook his hand, and he told me his name. I'm like, holy shit! Like, you look different, dude. Because he used to like buzz his head, clean shaven. He looked like he was living in a fucking cave in Afghanistan for 10 years. So
is that take a sheet of paper out and fold it lengthwise? That English teacher?
Yeah, that teacher, yeah.
Take a sheet of paper out, fold it lengthwise.
Oh, you guys were
and then pass it to the left.
Hey, you guys weren't in the class that he Xeroxed the papers on, were you? One of those classes. I think there's only one class I know of that did that. But anyway, he gave a quiz, got the answers back, Xeroxed them, and then we graded the class graded him. It wasn't my class, and he goes, he said something like, "That's funny." He was like, "These answers aren't the same answers as these," and he broke out the real copies, and it was nothing relevant. I mean, nothing even looked close together. And I was like, "Holy shit!" He said that. It's funny. So he knew what was fucking going on. Yeah, he's just fucking. Yeah. He was cool though, man. I got a D in his class, and everybody else failed and had to go to summer school. And he was like, "I passed you, man." And I said, "I know," but I was like, "I'm trying to get my GPA just up a little bit to get the clearinghouse stuff." And he was like, "Well, I just want to let you know you passed." And I was like, he was actually a cool guy, man. If you talk to him one-on-one, he was cool, man. He really was.
He seemed all right, but he was a case, man. You know who my favorite was though? Was that blonde lady that taught Spanish. She was my favorite. She's actually a good teacher. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Did she
Spanish?
No, I had that young guy Baloo for Spanish. He was cool as shit, man. Like, dude, we were talking about going to fucking HF Festival and seeing the fucking Prodigy. He was like, "Yeah, I was right there."
Actually,
man.
he was young, wasn't he? Like,
Yeah, dude,
wasn't he like a recent college grad?
Dude,
Like,
he was probably
a
like
DeMath
24,
alum?
25,
He was a
25.
DeMath alum, right?
Yeah.
And then he was like, and then a DeMath alum straight out of college back to teaching. Yeah,
there were a
I
group
think
of
I think I remember him.
There was a group of them, like 4 of them, that would hang out together. They were all the same age. It was real tight niche then.
And that soccer coach / history teacher too, right? He was always in that group. He was a little older, but I think he hung out with like the younger teachers.
Yeah, that was a tight niche. I remember talking to one of the instructors, and he told me one time, he goes, "If you think it was crazy with you guys, just imagine it with us." And I was like, man.
I even pulled the same route, man. I wanted to go back and work with the crew team, but they wouldn't hire me. I guess my GPA wasn't
back
that good.
Try to be an assistant or something.
Oh yeah, I was just like, hey, I'm looking for a job. I'll even take a part-time job coaching crew. And they were like, no, I think we're good. No, we're good. Those were the fucking days, man. Those were the days. Well, all right, listen. So here's an experiment I'm trying to do with the show. And it's going to be like this inaugural thing. And we'll just see how it goes. But let's start here. We'll start with Tech. Come up with a location.
Any location?
Any location. Just any location.
Okay. Washington, D.C.
All right, DC. All right. And both Brian and Scotty, come up with a character each. Any character. Person, character.
It's fictional, not fictional, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I'm going to say Bruce Banner.
All right. Bruce Banner. And
Maybe Sylvester Stallone. I don't know.
okay, Sly. Okay. And then object. I'll come up with an object. We already since you said Bruce Banner, the first thing that comes to mind is like Marvel stuff now. So I'm gonna be stuck on.
Sounds like the Incredible Hulk.
Bruce Banner. He turns into the Incredible Hulk. So now it's gonna be use one of those old suitcase cell phones. You know what I'm talking about? Suitcase cell phone. Those big fuckers that you gotta like lug around. It had a strap.
We used to have one, yeah.
All right, and then we'll go back to Tech here for a conflict, some sort of conflict, any kind of conflict.
An international conflict. Say with another country, the
Like
U.S. The U.S. Versus Russia.
Okay, U.S. versus Russia. All right. So let's work on this, right? So, Bruce Banner. All right. So since you said Sylvester Stallone is casted. It won't be a character. He'll be the actor playing Bruce Banner, not Mark Ruffalo. But Sly is playing an older Bruce Banner, and he goes to DC to try to work on this U.S. versus Russian conflict, and maybe he got trapped. And you guys can help me out, like brainstorming this bizarre story. But
I like the way that you're going with it, though.
Yeah. So he goes to DC. So okay, so let's just say it's Sylvester Stallone playing Bruce Banner, and he might turn into you know what? I'll tell you what, Scott. How's this sound? It's Sylvester Stallone playing Smart Hulk, Banner Hulk, right?
Okay.
So we're recasting Banner Hulk from Endgame as Sly. all right. Hey, we gotta go back in time, all right? And then,
Because I got a little relaxed brain or something.
hey, like I needed to, kind of combine both, because I'm strong and I'm smart, all right? I'm not dumb or nothing, all right?
So you can't read the dummy cards.
Hey, I don't appreciate that, all right? So, all right. So then, he goes back in time, right, on that time machine. In the end game, they went back in time, and then they all had to go back and put the gemstones back. But then he like ended up in the was it the
righteous gemstones? They had to put the righteous gemstones back.
well the infinity stones in the right places.
Do you know the HBO show Righteous Gemstones?
Righteous gemstones? No.
Isn't that what it's called? It's got the guy from Eastbound and Down.
I have no idea what that show is.
Kenny Powers.
Kenny Powers?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that guy's real name?
It's about big church money.
Oh, okay.
Big church money down south.
I'll have to check that out. So
anyway, squirrel moment.
So Stallone's smart banner goes back in time, right? Because he has to replace the Infinity Stone that they went back in time to get, but now he has to go back. But then he gets lost, just like you remember how Captain America and Iron Man, they got lost. They screwed it up, I think, in 2012. So then they had to go further back to the 70s.
Yeah.
So like Smart Hulk ends up in the 80s. That's why he has to like fix this, and that's why he's got that big stupid cell phone, and he's walking around trying to get a hold of. And now it's during the Cold War. Yeah. This could be like a whole short film on DC Plus or something. So like, who would he be hunting down? Like, it would be like what? Smart Hulk, Stallone's Banner Hulk is meeting with Reagan or something.
Gotta jump off for a second.
You gotta jump off.
He's gotta pee, man.
He's gotta go. He's gotta go poop.
Put the urinal right in front of you, man, so you can piss in the bucket. Please.
Banner Hulk played by Sly, and he's got to play by Sly. He's got to meet with Reagan.
Do we have a deja vu from Rocky IV? Russians and Sly. Yeah.
I mean, somebody said Sly, somebody said U.S. versus Russia.
Oh yeah.
All right, so then all right, that's another good idea. So like Dolph Lundgren could pop up and play who? Red Hulk or the Abomination or something.
Yeah, maybe he's the Abomination. A Russian version.
Ooh, a Russian version. No, he could be fucking. Who's that Russian?
Oh, wait. A Soviet version. They were talking 80s, right? Soviet Union.
Yeah. Ooh, shit.
Yeah. All right. So Banner Hulk meeting with Reagan.
It's the equivalent. It is equivalent of a KGB scientist playing with the same energy.
Because in real life, Dolph Lundgren, he's got a master's degree or a doctorate or something in engineering or architecture.
I did not know that.
Some
really?
such
That's cool.
some such stuff. And he's a legit like 5th degree black belt in karate. I think he's an Olympic karate champion. Dolph Lundgren is legit. Okay, so then so Dolph Lundgren's doing that. Oh, and so like, how about it ends? The Berlin Wall came down because Banner Hulk, played by Sly, is like, hey, I don't like this wall no more. And he just starts punching the wall and like brings down the Berlin Wall by himself. Brings down Berlin Wall. I don't know. I don't know. I think we got something here. Who should play Reagan?
Oh, that's a good one.
Good question.
And Bruce Campbell played him in the show Fargo, and he did a fucking pitch perfect. Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead, played
He'd be
Ronald
a good
Reagan.
yeah.
Do you watch Fargo?
I've watched a couple episodes.
Did you Scotty? Did you watch Fargo?
Fargo season 4. I started it, got halfway through, but I've watched the other 3.
Yeah, but so you did see Bruce Campbell as Reagan.
Yeah,
Like
he'd be a great Reagan. Yeah.
Oh, he'd be great. Has he been in a Marvel thing? He has been in Spider-Man. He was in the
You guys
Tobey
watch
Maguire
the,
Spider-Man.
Did you watch they didn't call it Army of Dark? What was it called? The Evil Dead series had like 3 seasons.
Ash
Brought
versus
him
Evil
back
Dead.
on it. Yeah, Ash versus Evil Dead. Yeah.
Did they ever pick up after the like the apocalypse? Like he woke up in the future.
No.
No.
No,
It's canceled,
they
right?
ended it.
It's canceled.
Yeah, I
right?
don't think they renewed it. Yeah, something happened.
Oh, come on, man.
But man, I really did enjoy that one, dude. He was fucking awesome in that.
And dude, you know what else I would have fucking enjoyed? You know what would have really been dope is, okay, did you ever see the Evil Dead reboot in 2017, 2016?
I think I did, but he wasn't in it though.
Well, he produced it, and at the very, very end, like after the end credits, they show him in a dark room and he looks at the camera and says, "Groovy."
No, I didn't catch that.
So that was like at the very end of the credits. Now
I got to go check the end of the credits.
what would have been fucking dope, bro, is all that shit happens at the end of Evil Dead 2015 or whatever year it came out, the reboot, and somehow he just flies up, like he flies through the window or he flies up from the cellar, like he got kicked out of the post-apocalyptic thing, and like he just flies through into the cabin and like gets up covered in glass and blood, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then they cut to black, and then they could pick up with a second one where he is still involved in with these new kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I thought the new characters were awesome.
Yeah, I thought the new characters were awesome too, but that could have been like, okay, what the hell happened to Ash? And then they cut to like Ash versus Evil Dead, the whole show, and then he ends up in the future, and then they show a little something from in the future, and then they get sucked back into like the cabin from where those kids are.
Or maybe he gets sucked back into being the president of the United States in the '80s, and he's talking to Smart Hawk.
And he's talking to Smart Hawk. Yeah, man, we gotta. All right. So it's all about trying to bring down the Berlin Wall and Banner Hawk or Smart Hawk or whatever. Well, that was kind of fun. Sly Hawk, even better.
Sly Hawk, yeah.
Sly Hawk, because he might. I mean, listen, people make fun of Stallone, but he plays a great, normally intelligent kind of guy. I don't want to call him dumb or anything. He plays your average guy with average intelligence very well. He plays that character though. Sylvester Stallone's a genius, by the way, genius filmmaker. But he would be a great Sly Hawk. Hey, you want an autograph? Hey, I'm the Hawk, all right? I just decided, hey, forget about it, all right? I'm going to be big, I'm going to be green, but it's going to be me, no time, all right? I'm still smart, all right?
Dude, the funny thing is everybody's taking pictures of Sly now. Like, and now he's got like a gut, like a dad bod, and they're like, oh, now I finally have the physique of Sly.
Did he finally decide to just like let it just chill out?
Dude, yeah, I guess he just let it go, man.
I mean, dude, he's almost fucking
72.
He's 75 years old. Come on.
Everybody's like, I finally did it. I finally have the physique of Sylvester Stallone. I finally did it. I'm like, yeah, the guy's like almost 80 years old, man.
He's 75 years old. And you can dump on the guy that you want. Oh, he's getting fat now. Well, first off, he's 75 years old. But on top of that, he is a guardian of the galaxy, and he's a member of the Suicide Squad. Who the fuck else can say at the same fucking time that they are a member of the Marvel Universe and the DC Universe?
Dude, he'll do another Rocky movie if he wanted to.
I really think he's done with that, man. I really think he's done with that. I mean, it's been 8 of them now. So
I don't know, man. Fast and Furious, keep it going. I mean, dude, You know, if he came out with another Rocky movie, people watch that motherfucker.
But he's not going to be in another Rocky movie. He's just going to do a couple of Fast and Furious movies.
Maybe Expendables 4 and 5.
Dude, oh my god, dude, I don't think the guy can hold up to a fucking Expendables 4. I mean, we don't want to see that. I want to see him guest star like Kurt Russell does and everything. Kurt Russell's just popping up in every franchise, in the Fast movies, in the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. He wasn't in Expendables, wasn't he? No, he wasn't.
Hey, what movie was he in where he had the race car and he like picked that girl up from the bar and he was driving like 100 miles an hour and her head was banging all over? I was like, what? It caught me off guard, man. I was like, this has got to be a Tarantino film, man.
It was the Tarantino film.
Oh yeah, that was.
It was called Death Proof.
Okay.
That was a great role for that guy.
Yeah, it was kind of unexpected. You know what I mean? That scene, it really was.
Stuntman Mike.
Everything, starts off good and then it just goes to, once you see Tarantino, you should know that everything's going to get crazy.
Hey, who's that? That's Stuntman Mike. Who's Stuntman Mike? He's a stuntman.
Yeah, remember we were calling you Stunt for a while, man. When you were a certified stuntman.
Certified stuntman.
Yeah, I had you on backup, by the way, on speed dial for Primal Fitness back in the day.
You had me as backup.
I had you as backup. Yeah, they had their guy or whatever, but I was like, I was gonna call you
for the parkour competition.
Yeah, last second, it was last second stuff. But you would have been in a helicopter. You would have loved it, probably. You would.
Hey, listen, man, like
you would have been filming from a chopper.
Fuck that. I'd be filming.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too easy. Yeah, I can do that.
That's what I meant. Did I say stunt? I meant filming. Yeah.
You thought that
I thought he wanted me to do parkour. I kept telling him no.
That you were going to be an acrobat.
No, they got Dave. You're going to film. You're going to be the backup filmer.
I'm going to be an actor-bat. I swear you said actor-bat. Sylvester Stallone is Sly. Sylvester Stallone is, huh?
I got a guy for you to meet, Glenn.
Okay.
You come down to Atlanta. Charlie Pacierne.
Okay.
That is.
I don't know the name.
If you look him up on IMDb, you'll see his credits there. I guess, man, all the different shit that's up there. But he's a stunt coordinator that I met through another friend down here. Who, he's in his 80s, dude, and he'd probably kick everybody's ass I know. From the Untouchables all the way up until I think the last thing he was on was Fast 9 or F9 or whatever they're calling it.
Ass 9?
Or I think it's called F9. Charlie Pacierne. Yep. P-I-C-E-R-N-I.
Oh, wait a minute. I got him.
Yep.
Paterno?
Pacierne.
Pacierne.
P-I-C-E-R.
P-I-C-E-R. What?
N-I.
N-I. Charlie Pacierne. Yeah. Fast 9. Yeah, this guy's a little bit older, man. He looks like he's about 10 years younger than Sly, and he's still doing it. God damn. Born December 19th. Born December 19th, 1935, Queens, New York, and he's still doing it. Still blowing shit up.
Him and his wife, Nancy Young is her name. They're still active in the community. COVID obviously kind of kicked everybody in the ass in the production community.
Yeah.
But yeah, they live in Peachtree City, not far from me, man. On a personal note, I mean, they're cool. They're cool peeps. Yeah, I bet you if you talk to Charlie, man, you guys would talk for hours about stunt coordination, directing. I mean, he over his career, he started doing stunts, being the guy doing the stunts, then being the guy coordinating everything, and then being the guy designing different set pieces that go along and doing some directing and doing some acting and different things.
Good connection, man. Sounds like that's for sure, man.
But yeah, dude. He was, Die Hard, right? That's one of the things when I think of Die Hard, after kind of sitting and talking with this guy, man, I mean, he basically made Die Hard, happen. But really, Die Hard 2, he made that whole movie happen because Rennie Harlan was the guy who directed it. He kept saying that Rennie didn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, and this guy basically I had to carry the whole movie with stunt coordination and directing because this guy's dialogue parts were terrible.
Damn.
Kind of behind the music, right? Kind of like behind the stunts type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're still petitioning for a stunt category over at the Oscars. And I don't know any other award show that does awards for stunts either. I know there might be I think maybe the Saturn Awards, which are sci-fi awards. Sci-fi and fantasy.
There should be an organization for stunts, man.
I'm pretty sure there's a guild at this point, just like there is the PGA, the DGA, the ACE, SAG, WGA. I'm pretty sure there's
there's one that's called Stunts Unlimited. There's like a whole Stunts Unlimited crew or whatever. You can sign up and get in their database. You get into their database.
No, you get into their database. That company will look out for you. But
you use them to promote, I guess, and get jobs, get work.
Yeah. But as far as like the union, the guild, IATSE and
like SAG. I mean, I think you got to be part of all that stuff. The actors part of it, right? Even if you're just doing stunt acting.
Yeah. I think actually, you know what? Yeah. So I think SAG-AFTRA does cover stunts, stunt players, stunt performers.
But to your point about awards, I don't know if that many awards, right? Really, that are given out for stunt actors. I mean, director, second director, like those kind of things, sure, right? But like for stunt coordinator and things like that,
I don't really think I'm an AD, and I don't know if there is a qualifier for like an Oscar for best assistant director. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not going to be an Oscar for best assistant editor, and editors have an assistants. So the best you're going to get is you've been hired by this Oscar winning director over and over and over again. So you kind of have like that maybe little asterisk on your resume as an AD, or you've been hired by these producers over and over and over again, because the producers are the ones that get the best picture Oscar. The director gets the best director Oscar, but that director will probably say like, I couldn't have done this without my AD so-and-so for so many years on all my pictures, the same, I always hired the same guys, without them, this wouldn't be possible, blah, 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 blah. If you get your name mentioned at the award show, that's probably going to be about it. And I think that's probably as deserving as it. And I'm an experienced AD, and I don't see why there would be a category for that, because I think there's just too fucking many categories already. But there definitely should be. But they're definitely. See, listen, if you're going to have an Oscar for the wardrobe and the hair and makeup and the editing and the special effects, then you should have a stunt coordinator or stunt director's Oscar, but not an AD.
Well, for example, like did you see Demolition Man, that stunt in the beginning where that guy jumps off the fucking helicopter?
Yeah.
Okay, like that's one of Charlie's stunts, for example, right? I feel like something that fucking ridiculously awesome should get nominated for some award.
Take a look at Mad Max Fury Road.
That's crazy. You jumping off a fucking helicopter.
Yeah, exactly. But take a look at even more so. And I know this is even a more favorite movie of yours is oh shit, what the fuck's the name of the movie with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves? Point Break.
Dude. Yeah.
Like chock full of fucking stunts. Half the James Bond movies, especially Daniel Craig ones, chock full of incredible, insane, well choreographed.
Well, Patrick Swayze was doing his own jumping out of airplanes during that movie, right? So, like, he could have gotten a fucking extra award,
And Keanu Reeves was doing his own surfing in that movie.
Yeah, I guess there's certain things, man, that should be included, certainly from like the stunt community. The more I'm finding out about, the stories behind the scenes.
I think a stunt coordination, Matrix, Mad Max Fury Road. Mad Max took all the technical Oscars that year. It didn't get Best Picture, and I think it was robbed. But it took all the technical stuff that it should have because of the stunts and the camera work. So it got the editing, I think it got cinematography, it got special effects, because they were doing a lot of practical stunts and then kind of dazzling it up with some CGI. But all the stunts were legit, and stuff like that. But gentlemen, I think this is going to bring us to a close, man. It was a blast. We might have something here with this. We might have something here with this slide banner going back in time, getting lost trying to return that one Infinity Stone he was trying to return, and he bashes down the Berlin Wall. So that's something to work on, man. And but yeah, until next time, gentlemen, it was a blast. Before I let you guys go, Scotty, any plugs you want to put out there?
Dropshotstudio.com, and F is for friends. Check them out.
Okay, and
That's all I got.
TechFall.
Yeah, you can follow me on IG at Zombie Squad 211. Hit us up on www.deadonpictures.com. Check out some of our merchandise that we have available. Still always updating our store, so check it out, and hit me up on Facebook at Zombie Squad 211.
And last but certainly not least, Brian, any plugs, links, socials you want to put out there?
You can hit me up on bpage77@hotmail.com. Oh my God.
Straight up email. Email me direct, bro. All right, guys, man. Hey, listen, it was a blast. Hold on.
Dude, you should have just put out your address and said you can write me a letter.
Put out your home address, your phone number.
You can write me a letter. I accept fan mail.
Emails to people.
Do not.
And no responses from anybody. Does anybody use regular email? Jesus.
Yes, I do. We all still use email, man. You have to log into shit with email, so don't worry about it. Well, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk a little bit offline. The viewers out there, if you want to become an honorary member of the Zombie